Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Biosapiens. My name is Vishnu and I'm a PhD student trying to understand some interesting questions in developmental biology. Today in this episode I am going to talk to you about one of the controversial experiment which was recently been a big buzz in the media. This is the head transplantation experiment. An Italian neuroscientist, Dr. Sergio Canavero, has announced that he is going to do head transplantation experiment on live humans. When I heard this experiment for the first time, I was super enthusiastic because this will be a huge benefit for those people who are paralyzed below their neck. Basically, what Dr. Sergio Canavero is claiming is that these patients whose limbs or legs are paralyzed, what you can do is you can cut their head out and fit this head into another body. Usually this body comes from victims who are brain dead, and now this person can live with a new body which is completely healthy. Such an amazing idea it is, but when you really think into the practical terms, there are so many technical difficulties to achieve this particular milestone. Dr. Sergio Canavero has really done a TED talk on his experiments, future experiments on head transplantation surgery. When he talked about this, the first question came to my mind is immune rejection. Immune rejection is something when you introduce a foreign object into your body, the immune system will see it as a complete foreigner or an enemy and will attack it and destroy it. The immune system of your body acts as a sentinel. These are the army that fight against any intruders into your body. So in any transplantations, be it kidney transplantation, heart transplantation, there is always a risk of immune rejection. That's why these patients take immunosuppressants. These are chemicals which can suppress your immunity and avoid the risk of rejecting the new organ which is being transplanted. And when you do the head transplantation experiment, the amount of immunosuppressants which you have to use will be immense, and I'm not even sure there is such an immunosuppressant existing and that can be used for head transplantation experiment. After that, I was curious about what are the animal models in which this experiment is being done. When I went back to the literature and understood that there are a series of disturbing experiments which has been done on animals. The history of head transplantation actually started in the beginning of 20th century. And one of the successful head transplantation experiment was being done on dogs by Dr. Vladimir Demikov. What he has done is he took two dogs and he cut one of the dog into half and he attached the upper body of this dog into the second dog. And what he is able to achieve is that the attached dog showed very good response, like he was able to drink water and show other kind of responses like visual response, auditory response, etc., etc. And out of his experiments, one two-headed dog has survived up to 29 days. The experiment of Dr. Vladimir Demikov creating a two-headed dog is not exactly the same experiment that Dr. Sergio Canavero is aiming. He exactly wanted to replace the head, but Dr. Vladimir Demikov has just attached an extra head onto a completely healthy dog, which is completely different from what a human head transplantation experiment will be. The next very important question came to my mind is how the spinal cord regeneration is going to happen once the patient is being transplanted. Basically, spinal cord contains millions of fibers of nerves which can control all your motions. Like if you want to move your hand, the brain has to send signal through the spinal cord and then only your hand will move. Similar with all the motor functions or other functions of your body. What Sergio Canavero is claiming is that he is going to use a magical substance called polyethylene glycol to treat the spinal cord cut. Basically, he has showed an experiment on mice where he cut the spinal cord of the mice and then applied this polyethylene glycol and allowed the mouse to recover the spinal cord injury. And in his experiment, he has shown that after around 2 weeks or something, around 1 month, the mouse was able to retain its motor functions, like it was able to move its hands. But this is far away from how the human spinal cord regeneration will happen. But I don't know, but Sergio Canavero is so confident that this is going to work on humans as well. The next crucial question came to my mind is about the maintenance of blood flow to the head of the patient during the transplantation experiment. You know, if you lack the blood flow to the brain can undergo a condition called cerebral ischemia. This is the condition where the lack of blood flow creates a lack of oxygen in the brain cells, and as soon as this happens, within 30 seconds, your brain starts not functioning. The brain cells start deteriorating, and which can create immense damage. Dr. Sergio Canavero addressed these questions by citing the work of his colleague Dr. Xiaoping Ren. What he has done is he allowed the brain to have some blood flow by a particular carotid surgery. And also, along with that special vascular surgery that Dr. Ren is proposing, he is also telling that you can keep the head in a reduced temperature during the transplantation. In this reduced temperature, he is claiming that he will be able to reduce the damage that is happening to the head while it is being transplanted. We really don't know whether this is really going to work or not, but they are going to try this experiment on humans by citing such experiments which are separately done in different scenarios. The last but not the least question came to my mind is about the pain which is going to cause during the transplantation experiment. This particular question has not been addressed in the previous experiments that are done in the different animals. So there is something called central pain syndrome. This is an immense pain sensation which a patient can have if he has some kind of damage in his brain or spinal cord region. When you actually cut your spinal cord, the patients can experience such kind of extreme pain. And Dr. Sergio Canavero claims that he can reduce this pain by creating some lesions in the pain sensing region of the brain. This has never been done before, but all these experiments he wanted to do in his new experiment. Overall, looking into this head transplantation experiment, it still looks like a sci-fi experiment to me, because there are a lot of aspects which are still not addressed properly. Sergio Canavero is addressing each of these technical difficulties with separate experiments which are done in different systems. One of the key problem with this experiment is there has not been a single experiment done on the animal model where a head is completely transplanted and a new dog is walking with a new head. Until and unless that kind of experiment is done, I really doubt whether this head transplantation experiment on human is going to be successful. One of the very interesting thing is this experiment was supposed to be done in December 2017, and after that time Dr. Sergio Canavero has actually announced to the press that he was able to practice this surgery on human cadavers. Basically, this is a practice surgery using 2 dead bodies, and he claimed that he was able to successfully complete all the possible procedures. And still, the completely practicing this surgery doesn't mean that this experiment is going to be successful, because the experiment is still not done on living beings, and I don't think that this experiment will be successful in another 50 years, because there are a lot of questions to be addressed by the biological science. I hope this experiment intrigues you in many different ways. If you want to read more about it, I am sharing many links down this video for further references. And Taking the best case scenario, hoping that this experiment is going to be successful, this is still not possible or accessible for common people, because one of such kind of a head transplantation experiment is going to cost around 10 million euros. So poor people really cannot afford such kind of head transplantation experiment. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, questions, please write down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, like this video and share among your friends. And subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And see you next time.